Hello again and welcome to my channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Prop Up and Co. And back to our Sunday Championship from the Pro Split 1 drivers. This is round 6 and the second of our endurance races. And we're over in the Far East in Tokyo City on the Expressway there. Several layouts here. We're on the south counterclockwise circuit, this one, and it's just over 4 miles long. And it's set in the streets of Tokyo City, and they obviously close the streets off for the day while the racing takes place. So yeah, this is going to remind you a bit like the Fast and Furious, especially if it starts getting dark around here as well. All these cars screaming through the streets, inches from the barriers. So I think we're in for a cracking race. This one, there's a sort of tight hairpins, elevation changes, high-speed straight, so a bit of everything here on this one. And it is actually like a double figure of 8 as well, so it crosses over twice. So it's a fairly long circuit, 16 corners. Well, we think we're ready to get on with this one. What I will do is I will just go through the points, because I did promise you this anyway from last time out. So going into this one then, we've got Ethan at the top on 137 points, with Motorstorm 10 points behind him on 127. Then we've got Scott in that third and final place in the top 3, just a point behind Motorstorm on 126. Nath is just off that top 3 places as well, and he's on 111, so he's still well in the mix there, is Nath, with Gower in 5th on 108, so he's only a couple of points behind him as well. Fitzy's got himself up to 6th place now on 90. Point behind him is Harry in 7th on 89, and then 4 points behind me is Frowney in 8th on 85. In 9th is Victor on 80, and Brisbane rounds off the top 10 on 72. So really, it's all really close still. So obviously we've still got several rounds to go, so still everything to play for. Now what I'm going to do on this one, because I want to apologise actually first of all from the last round of this championship, where I was having issues with my PlayStation, and also with YouTube itself with uploading, which is why I only managed to get the second part of the last round recorded and put on there. So hopefully it will be better tonight. Now what I do plan on doing is probably continuing to do the 2-part races or rounds. So I will do the same for this one, and hopefully well, if it all goes to plan, it will work okay. So I'm a little bit wary about doing the full-on hours now, and I think this is going to run over the hour anyway around here tonight. So we'll fingers crossed, and we'll continue to do the 2-part. Right, so let's get on with this race then, and let's take you through the grid. So on pole position is Motorstorm, the man who's probably in the most form at the moment, sitting there on pole. Then we've got Ethan, who's the championship leader, of course, there in 2nd place. Enzo in 3rd. I think he missed last time, so he's back in that Ferrari in 3rd place. Gower in 4th in the AMG. Then Unforgiven in 5th, so he's getting himself up there in the top 5, which is better showing from him this time. Scott in 6th place. Brisbane, we welcome back as well. He's missed a couple of rounds in that Viper. That's going to be a handful round here as well, in 7th. Victor in 8th. Fitzy in 9th. Harry in 10th. Nath in 11th. Frowney in 12th. And Smith, we also welcome back in the second of the Ferraris in 13th place. Go through the tyres quickly. Motorstorm on the mediums. Ethan mediums. Mediums for Enzo. Gower on the mediums. Mediums for Unforgiven. Hards for Scott. Brisbane on the softs. Victor on the mediums. Fitzy softs. Mediums for Harry. Nath mediums. Hards for Frowney, and Smith mediums. So majority on the mediums, a couple of guys on the hards, and a couple on the softs. So a bit of a mix of tyres all round. Okay, let's get this one underway then, and let's take you through these 26 laps of Tokyo Expressway. Watch those lights. Away we go. Brisbane right on that inside, going down right down the inside, and that Viper has got off to a blinding start. It's probably already up to about 4th place now, but Ethan has taken it from Gower, who's got himself the 2nd. Motorstorm dropped back a couple of places there to 4th from pole position, so getting squeezed out a little bit. It's all hectic down there. Now this is where it's going to be tough coming down into turn 2 now. Hard on the brakes through as we start to go through the docks, the Tokyo docks area where all the shipping containers live, and it's really tight through here. You can pick up penalties if you cut too much of this red and white inside curve there. Everyone's through though. Can't see any obvious penalties set up there, so I think everyone's good. So all stream through now. As you can see, very tight. No runoffs are called. The runoffs are the walls and the barriers. It's because, of course, as I say, this is a street circuit. So you've got to be very accurate. Very easy, though, to just tap these walls and slow you down. So through they go, through this high-speed S's all the way through. Now to the chicane here at turn 11. This is where the pit entrance is as well. They slide round here. Very slow, probably the slowest corner on the whole circuit, that one. It's Victor, Nathan Smith, Frowny at the back there in 13th. So Ethan it is being chased down by Brisbane, who's had a great start. Brisbane in that Viper. Almost flat through here, just a couple of small lifts. And then probably a drop her down a gear through the final corner there at 16 and then cross the line to complete the lap. The public transport still going, the trains. The bullet train actually goes past here, so keep your eye open for that. You might see it at some point. Some of these cars are going like a bullet train. The speeds they're at coming through the streets here. There's Fitzy all over the back of Gower. Motorstorm now to 6th, so he is dropping down further. But it's all about slipstream as well here. You can pick up quite a lot as Unforgiven. He's also there in the mix in 7th. But then, got to be careful, get it on the brakes. Also, they all go up there. Look at this. Victor's outbroke himself. He's right on the outside and he's going to stay on the outside. He just a bit hot in there and couldn't get it stopped. So he drops down to 13 for Smith and Frowny go by. So we have had a change of lead, and it is Brisbane. He was obviously battling with Ethan there, wasn't he? Now where did he get him? Because he was 2nd at this. Now I think Ethan might have just gone a bit wide through the docks here. Yeah, and Brisbane got it done. He was a lot tighter through that section. So he takes that lead now. And around this right-hander. So it's a clockwise circuit. Well, actually, it's counterclockwise, actually. But as I say, it crosses over a couple of areas here, so at points it does look like you're going clockwise, but actually you're not. So it's up over here, through, and then straight right down to the hairpin for the 2nd time. With all this lot coming through. Very well behaved. Motorstorm still out there on the inside in 6th place. Unforgiven still in 7th. Scott's now latched himself onto the back of this group. Then there's a little gap back then to Nath in the Beetle in 9th. Thanks as always, Nath, for the replays. But this lot through here, it's really quick through here. Little touch of the barriers there for Motorstorm, and again, and Gower with a big hit. So both Gower and Motorstorm, I think Gower initially hit it, and then just put Motorstorm off a bit, and he kind of done the same thing, but Unforgiven now right up behind Motorstorm with Scott behind them. Just no way through. Scott's trying to find a way through all these cars, but there's just no way. It's so narrow. So what can he do here? Can Scott maybe get himself out of the slipstream up here at the right-hander? Well, he's on the outside. He's going to have a go at Gower. but then you don't want to be hanging yourself too far out there on the outside of the track, because very dirty out there. And, yeah, he has to concede that place back to Gower, and Nath is now on him with Harry behind him in 10th, Smith in 11th, Frowney 12th, Victor in 13th after his off. So this is how close it all is. There's a little gap back there from Harry to Frowney, but this is all really, really closed up here. This front group of, well, about 9 cars together. So it's all really, really close racing through the streets of Tokyo. And Fitzy, there he is, out there in 3rd place. He's got himself through nicely in that Porsche. And as you can see, day is becoming night. This is gonna be lit up beautifully around here now. As the city begins to sleep, these guys will carry on. The sound of the engines rumbling through the apartments. Brisbane and Ethan leading this now. Brisbane's going to have a lot of pace in that Viper. Ethan probably won't be able to keep with him along these faster, longer sections, but Ethan might then get him the tighter stuff on the brakes maybe. He's obviously still there, still clinging on to the back of Brisbane at this point. And he's just getting a little bit of help from slip there as well. So they now hit that right-hander, double right-hander as you go through, then you just keep it slightly feathering it through, and then just keeping it tight to the inside, not taking too much of that curb, and then out the other side, and then up this hill to this right-hander, which is easy to hit the outside barrier as well, so you've got to be a little bit careful through there. There's Enzo still in 4th place, looking okay, with Motorstorm, who's managed to just get himself detached from the rest, and is in 5th place now, trying to chase down Enzo. Motorstorm second in that championship at the moment behind Ethan. Ethan obviously a few cars ahead of him. So just to remind you of the tyre rules, well, there isn't really any rules other than you've got to run a hard tyre for a minimum of 3 laps, and that's it. Everything else, you can do whatever you wish. You can have as many stops as you like, you can use whatever tyre you like. You do have to run that hard for 3 laps minimum. So now Scott then having a go at Gower, but not through there. It's not going to happen. Very much one line through the entirety really of this circuit, but certainly through this section here, you just got to sit there, come out the other side, hope for a better exit there on the final corner, and maybe try and get something. A bit of slip from the person in front. Unforgiven in 8th, Nath in 9th. There's Harry in 10th. Motorstorm still trying to chase down Enzo, and he's getting closer in that Audi. How close can he get? Can he make a move? That's the question. And it looks like he's lining him up, but Enzo's obviously gonna cover, but can he cover enough to stop Motorstorm from coming through? That's nice and tight through there from Enzo. He's got no chance getting through there, Motorstorm. Not going to give up, he's going to keep going, and now next opportunity could be when they come out of this turn 6, and then you've got this fast kind of, I call it S's really, it's not really much of an S, but it's almost a straight section right the way through the tunnel here. It's a section where you actually go under part of the circuit here. Really pick up some speed, certainly at this right at the end here, before you get to the very tight hairpin at the end. He's certainly going to have a go. He's got in the slipstream, surely on the brakes here. Enzo will of course cover. Can he do the switchback Motorstorm? Does Enzo run it wide? There you go, he's trying to switch back, but no, Enzo nicely out there as well. It has closed up a bit here at the front actually, because Fitz is now got a bit closer to both Ethan and Brisbane, who are still first and second, but it's top 5 going to get very close indeed at the moment, are going to get closer to carries on, and the reason for it is that Brisbane is on those soft tyres and they're not looking particularly great after 5 laps. That's why Ethan has now got right onto the top of him. So Ethan is going to launch an attack at some point, probably at the end of this next straight, as they go into the shipping yard. Yeah, he's literally getting as much as he possibly can off of that slipstream from Brisbane, and he's lining himself up for the inside. I'm surprised Brisbane, well, he couldn't do much about it, I was going to say, surprised Brisbane didn't cover, but to be fair, Ethan didn't allow him to cover, and he's on the outside now, Brisbane, and on those soft tyres he can't get it really turned as best he can, and that's allowed Ethan through. So now, and Ethan has a slide, and so does Brisbane, and they're all sliding now through there, but Ethan now is back in the front, and now there's a big hit there as well, so that's Brisbane's now going to have another look. Vince is now also sitting there. Motorstorm has got past Enzo, so Motorstorm up to 4th place, and they're closing in, but Fitzy's getting a great view of what's happening ahead of him. Also getting a lot of help as well. He's also on the soft tyres, I remember, so he's kind of in the same boat as what Brisbane is. So 2nd and 3rd of the soft tyre runners. They were the only 2, I believe, that were on the soft tyres actually. Now what they like through here, anybody? Ethan a bit wide again, he's trying to get it back, and he does. So he covers Brisbane there. Brisbane couldn't get it stopped, obviously, on those tyres as the way they are, and Fitzy also is getting right close, is Fitzy, and he's in with a good shout here, but how many more laps can he do on those soft tyres? And the fuel, of course. Going to be using some around here. It's high speed. This is a mid to high speed course, that's for sure. Motorstorm has got away a little bit from Enzo, so he's now got himself to 4th place as Motorstorm, and he's on those medium tyres, so he's in a good place as we see Fitzy taking Brisbane here at turn 1. Good move up the inside from Fitzy, so Brisbane struggling. So will Brisbane be in at the end of this lap to change tyres? Fitzy also could possibly come in, but he has just made that move up to 2nd, so Fitzy looking strong in that Porsche. So what can he do about Ethan, though, ahead of him? Motorstorm and Enzo are all on now on the back of Brisbane. So a line of 5 cars here at the front of this race. 7 laps in of the 26. But does a lot. Ethan is just starting to pull a gap on them. He's got himself out in front. He knows that he's not going to have an attack from Brisbane now, because he knows his tyres are shot, and likewise Fitzy. But his Motorstorm and Enzo, what's Enzo on? Is he on softs? No, he's on medium. So both Motorstorm and Enzo's on the medium tyres, the same as Ethan. But they're going to be going for a move here, Motorstorm for sure. Brisbane up here at the hairpin, got to get that done. He does, up to 30 goes, easy passing the end, and now also Enzo having a sniff around the back end of Brisbane, but he couldn't get that done at the same time, so he'll stay in 5th. But Brisbane just starting. I'm surprised he didn't come in, Brisbane. You know, he's right in the middle of the heat of the battle here. There's going to be a lot of heat going through these cars' radiators. Thought he might want to get himself out of the heat, get himself on some fresher tyres and start again, but there you go. That probably would have been what I would have done, but obviously he's not me, so he's got his own strategy to run. Scott there, just falling back now into 6th place. He is on those hard tyres though, so how long will Scott run for? Well, he could run for forever on those things as it stands, but that fuel's going to be probably only going to give him another lap, I would have thought, so he will be in soon just for the fuel, and he will change, because he has obviously done his minimum 3. Then we've got Gower in 7th, Unforgiven in 8th. Look at this battle here with Nath behind him in 9th still. Forgiven now, having a go at Gower. gets himself up to 7th temporarily because Gower then gets it back on that inside. I'm figuring it's going to get out on the outside. He tried to go up the inside there, which you could be on the outside to then get yourself on the inside coming through turn 5, but it didn't quite work out for Unforgiven then as they come through 6 now and along this long section, turn 7 and 8 right in the middle of it, and then you're hitting the hairpin at 11. Sorry, you got 7, 8, 9, 10 through this fast bit, and then you're hitting the hairpin at 11. So fuel lights now on for Unforgiven, who still find it out with Gower. That's Brisbane coming pit lane. Let's have a look. He's still out there, I think. That's no, he is in. So I thought I see him come in. So he is in, Brisbane, and that's no surprise, really, is it? Unforgiven also dives in. So Unforgiven's in, Scott's in off the hards, so he thoughts to the fuel. Brisbane. So we had a few cars come in now. Then after lap 8 or beginning of middle of lap 8. Ethan, our leader though, stayed out. Motorstorm in second, but there's the lead then. The gap between Ethan and Motorstorm, and Fitzy dropped back to 3rd place. That's the tyres on Fitzy, isn't it? So I think Fitzy's probably had enough on those, and he'll be in at the end of this one with Enzo in 4th place. He'll be in because of fuel. Motorstorm, well, he could possibly get another lap out with fuel as well, and Ethan, he's got to come in on the fuel. So out of these top 4 at the moment, Motorstorm's probably in the better position, only because of his fuel situation, really. So I would expect to see Ethan peel off into pit lane, which is right on the entry to turn 11, which is at the end of this next section. So he will definitely be in. Now, let's see if Motorstorm stays out, or is he going to follow suit with Ethan, because both Enzo and Fitzy will be in as well. So if Motorstorm does decide to stay out, could have quite a nice lead then over, well, it'll probably be Nath, although I'm not sure his situation at the moment. So we know that Enzo's going to be in, Ethan's going to be in, sorry. How's Nath looking? He's looking all right as well, so he's in kind of the same boat as Motorstorm. He's got probably another lap's worth of fuel there. Gower will be in this time, which is why he's heading over to the left-hand side into pit lane there. Victor also is following him, so a couple of there. Then Smith in 8th, he's going to be in as well, staying right to the left-hand side with Harry probably following him in as well. Yep, Brisbane's now out on those mediums, so he's had his stop. So Ethan's in from the lead, Smith's in, Harry's in, Scott's been in. He's out on the mediums. Unforgiven's also out on the mediums, and Frown is out on the mediums. So quite a few guys have been in there and come out on those medium tyres. So that's down to Motorstorm now. He will be in at the end of this one, along with Nath. Although Nath may well stay out, and he does this. We've been seeing this actually every week. The last round, he does do some good fuel saving. Doesn't really need to come in. I would imagine he could get another lap out of here, but it's how that car feels as Gower's in now as well. It was quite a big gap from Motorstorm back to Nath, but then a massive gap back then to Brisbane. How massive is it? Well, we don't know until Nath goes in. It's a good couple of long straights. The distance between himself and Brisbane in 3rd. Now, I don't think it's too bad in the pit lane or the pit stop time either. I think it's relatively quick. So this could work in the favour of Motorstorm and Nath. You know, these two have obviously worked their fuel well. Mediums were clearly the way to go here in this first stint. Anyway, most of the other drivers have now, who have been in, have come out on those mediums for their second stints. So Motorstorm is in. And where's Nath? He's just coming through turn 10. We will see if he pops in. Yeah, he's just starting to flash now, so he may stay out. No, he's decided. Oh, it looked like he was going to go, but then he might have just changed his mind right at the last minute then, because it looked like he was going to go around the hairpin then, but then suddenly just veered off to the left. As we watch him coming in under this, right underneath here, it's like a inside a garage here. So that's a quick fuel tyre change there from the guys, but the fuel is a little bit longer. So where's Brisbane now? We're just coming up to pit entry now. These guys are still sitting there. It's going to be tight, you know. Brisbane and Ethan both come round. Brisbane should take the lead. So yeah, Brisbane and Ethan now in second, and I think I just see Motorstorm leaving. You did. There he is. So he's come out in third, and he's not that far behind him. So this is all going to get closed up again here with Fitzy in fourth place. He's on the soft tyres again. So actually Fitzy's having a couple of stints on the softs. In fact, he might just find that he wants to go all the way on softs. Maybe a couple of stints on softs and then go on the mediums before hitting his hards, but that does mean he's going to have a free stopper. So he went in on softs, come out on softs. So it's an unusual for Fitzy, although I say unusual, he did pretty well on those soft tyres. It's just that going to get that many laps out of them, but he clearly feels, well actually I say that, he got probably got, what did he get? Probably got 8 laps out of them, didn't he? So what are we now? We're lap 11, so yeah, probably not a bad call. He'll have about half a dozen laps to do on the hard tyres, so that's not so bad, is it? Actually, so we'll see, we'll keep an eye on that one. So in 5th place, he's looking okay. His return. Scott in 6th place, with Victor in 7th, Unforgiven in 8th, Nath in 9th, Gower in 10th, Frowney in 11th, Smith in 12th. Smith not really got it going yet, has he? And Harry in 13th place on those hard tyres. In fact, yeah, Harry is on those hard tyres at the back there in 13th, but he's obviously just come out. So back to our leader and the holder of the fastest lap on 1:57.2, and that's Brisbane coming down to the hairpin again. And Ethan staying with him all the way. This is what they were like at the start of this race. Storm looks like he's just dropping off the back of them. These two are clearly got a lot more pace than anybody else here. Just right out in front, I guess, but kind of know what I'm saying. It does visually look, they do visually look quicker than the others at the moment. Ethan, remember, is our championship leader, so what he wants to do is keep as far away from Motorstorm as he possibly can, but if it stays like this, it's not really going to make too much difference on the points, is it? With Motorstorm only the next car up behind him on place, or there he's in 3rd, but Fitz is chasing him down in 4th place. Benzo in 5th, Scott in 6th, Victor 7th, Unforgiven in 8th. So it's all a little bit spread out now. I guess the closest battle could possibly be the front two, but it's not really any what I call close battles going on. It's quite kind of spread out. There's Victor, there's Unforgiven, there's Knife, there's Gower. So as you can see, yeah, it is all pretty spread out apart from these two. This is definitely the closest battle we have on track at the moment, and this could go right on to the end, couldn't it? As we reach the end of, will be the end of lap 12 soon. We'll be about halfway through this race when they cross the line. So it's a bit more like it from Brisbane and a bit more like it for the Viper. So yes, it's a tight, twisty circuit, but also got some very high speed. Well, it's all very high speed, so it kind of fits the Viper's DNA there, doesn't it? Come out of turn 16 along across the line to start lap 13. Fitzy's still clinging onto the back of Motorstorm, and Enzo's not going away either. These three are very close. Still not that far from our leaders, are they? In fact, it does look like Motorstorm has picked up a bit of pace and has got himself back onto near the back of the front two, because that gap seems to have shrunk a bit. As Fitzy has a look. He had a little look, didn't he, there, Fitzy, but didn't quite work for him there. So now comes out turn 5 up to 6. People that live around here, the locals, all in their apartment blocks, getting free tickets, free viewing for this show. Just got to look out the window and they can see it happening. Not very many viewing areas around here, being as a street circuit really. There's not. They do open a few of the car parks up, car park areas, if people want to watch. But as you can see, it's quite empty. It's not really anywhere to put stands in the middle of Tokyo City, is there? So I suppose the best bet probably is just to hang out of a window and watch it that way. Who wouldn't, eh? Through they come. That's Brisbane. Now coming up to start lap 14. So lap 14 it is then.